So really quick explanation of today's. The right hand is going to have, oh, are we in? Get us in tune here. The right hand is going to have a 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to do thumb again for the 1, but we're going to omit the first finger and use our second finger on the C, then the E, then the A. And what's going to happen is we're going to get that bottom pinky really used to playing this last note right here. What happens when you start moving up? You can play a chord structure like this, and then do a pinch out here with your pinky and your thumb, and then you could also have this finger ready. A lot of people, that when they get up here, they get scared by using their pinky in these pinches. So the pinches exercise that we didn't really go over today, but it's obvious. It's 1 and 2 together, 1 and 3 together, 1 and 4. So we had 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 2. Now 1 and 2 together, pinch 2, 3 and 1 together, pinch 1 and 3 together, and then play 3, pinch 4 and 1 together and play 4. Cool? All the way up. Another exercise that we didn't say to do, but it's a great way to get multiple movements on each note, is by playing multiple notes, picking on the right hand on the same note. So B flat, B flat, B flat, B, 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 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So if you can do this at a certain speed, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. When you speed it up, it becomes like tremolo, or same thing you would get like a little vibrato, little movement of back forth. It gives it kind of like a trills, if you will, just really fast syncopated triples. So on the right hand, make sure we're switching in between, and then you're omitting the first finger and using your middle finger, second finger on the C every other couple times, and just try and get a little stronger at these. And what happens is you get into a motion where your fingers start to do the same thing, and what we don't want to lose focus with is to give inflection to one string or the other. So we can have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, over and over again. If you're doing 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 2, over and over again like this, then give one inflection. That works some of the time, but what the idea is, if you want to have the inflection on one end, be conscious of where that is. The slower you go, the more conscious you are. This helps with rhythm and falling within the time signature. This also correlates with what we kind of did on the board about talking about something I've been toying around with. The 2 of 5, our secondary leading chords, being able to use something like in the key of C major, using our D preferences and a D minor, and then adding those chords in the C major construct while using the secondary tones in a D as moving tones, lending tones, and something that's going to push a different agenda. They're also quick, really, fillers in between because it helps the ear correlate. Like, I think our example today was, here it is, I think it's the board, C, F, G, and then D. If we were playing that over a bunch of times, C, to a C sharp after the G here, C sharp diminished, and it moves it to the D rather than just ending on the D. And at that point, you can change the melody into the key of D and do the same thing. If you're in the key of D, and let's say C was away from there, and we're ending on the 2 of what was C, now that we're in D, we would be ending on E. And we'd be using the, let's see, what's right before E? The D sharp diminished right before E to move right into there. Where we are right now is going through these and playing these scales and playing these modes and being aware that Ionian, Lydian, and mixed Lydian are rather simple once you got the majors going on. That's the difference of the raised fourth, that flat seventh. The difference between the minors, the Dorian is great. Dorian works with almost every minor key you can use it with. Phrygian has a very special half-step feeling, which you're aware of. Gives it a very Egyptian or an Armenian or kind of like kind of over the top of it, Spanish flamenco-ish kind of feel, if you will, in certain types of music. The idea with our diminished chords, with having a flat third and a flat five, that flat five and that flat third correlate with any of your diminished sevens. Or in jazz, if you've got a major flat five, like a G major flat five, you can be using these same chords which exhibit a flat third and a flat five, and they will correlate quite nicely. Your third, G-A-B, that flat B flat over the B works really well. And then when you're in your like relative minor, like your E minor, if you think about your E, F, G, if you use a G flat, your relative minor, you've got G flat, which is your F sharp. Well, if you're in the key of E, that G flat, F sharp. But if you're in the key of G and you're looking to play something up the scale, you can use different notes that are outside that scale preference, and put them into that phrasing. The easiest way to explain that is, if you've ever hit a wrong note and played it twice, sometimes the wrong notes you hit when you play them twice tend to be good triads that you can actually put the ear towards. That's more of a jazz thing, but you'll notice that when we're doing these, there's some blaringly wrong chords, right? Like the A and the A flat. Those are blaringly wrong, but some music is written to exhibit that. So as long as you can hear those functions, some of those are part of the structure, like in Locrian. Locrian is our seventh diminished modal structure. In those modes, like on the board here, we were talking about, there's two really great ways. Let's say we're playing a F diminished and we're resolving back to C, or F, back to G, not C. G, A, B, C, D, E, F diminished, G. The F diminished, we could have a half step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step. And that creates this kind of half whole, half whole, half whole, which works. Kind of feeling over the top, and that is a half diminished modal structure. And then if you flip that around and you don't have half whole, or a whole, half, you have half whole. So F diminished, G, A, B, C, D, E, F diminished. If I don't go a whole step first, but I go a half step, the other one is whole step. See the difference between the two? Laid out, it's the same thing as doing your chromatic movements for it. So in our diminished, if we had, sorry, last note was wrong. It's a great way to move over the top. And as I said, the half step, that diatonic chromatic, because when you have 12 notes, there really is no root. Every note is the root at the same time. It's got quantum scale. It's hard to say what to use that over. Basically, I feel the diatonic chromatic structures are used in jazz. It just flows over the whole top of everything. Anyways, I'm going to put a picture of these up here. Work on your scales. Work on your different modal structures. Start them slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Know all the chords in there. All the notes are in there. And then work on doing 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth. Try phrasings of 2, 3, 4, 5. As soon as you get the 5, you're at pentatonic style. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why not just omit the fourth and have 1, 2, 3, 5, 1? Go through the whole thing like that. Do that in D. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up through all of your structures going up in half steps. And that'll show your fingers where they're supposed to be. After that, you can start playing around with sevens. Try all of your chords like a G major 7. G major, and then see that you have 4 strings. You can add the F sharp onto here without changing this, but you are not going to be able to play that easily, considering you would have to come up here to play the F sharp. Does that make sense? So being able to move your G a half step down and incorporate the G major 7, G dominant 7 is the same as the C major 7, C dominant 7, or C major 7, C dominant 7, D major 7, D dom 7, A major 7, A dom 7. Work through all those on a daily basis, and we're going to pick out a song or something for us to play through rather than writing one and composing one. So yeah, during the week, my email is bookingwego.hanahau, HANHOU @gmail.com, and give me a buzz with a couple different artists or songs that you would like to learn, or artists that you like. And if you couldn't come up with anything, I'll just throw something at you, like India RRE, Summertime, or Beatles, I Feel Fine, something like that, along those lines. Anyway, I really enjoyed seeing you as always. Have a better week. I know it's a little stressful out there. If anything, just deep breaths, lots of water, and if there's anything at all I can do for you, just give a buzz. Don't be afraid to ask. Aloha.